Hello again, cats and kittens. It's MamaCatGamer here. We're going to continue our MSQ, and we're on level 20. So our next one is We Come in Peace. But I want to pick up my feisty little chocobo first. And I also have a Lancer quest to do. But I'm going to pick up couple more things here. Malika says, well, a well-wishing welcome to you, adventurer friend. You've worked your way to Fisherman's Bottom. When you want fish for just the day, you can call a culinarian, but we fishermen feast for life. I've set the bait. Think you're ready to bite? Yes. Hooray, hooray! Looks like we've got a live one. Let me walk you through the life of a fisherman in Limsa Laminza. Since we're surrounded by the seas, the fishing sites are a fisherman's delight. If you can't fish it here, you can't fish it anywhere. While some of us rope our fish in with rods and reels, others skim the seabed with nets for creepy crawly critters. You might say we cast a wide net. People prattle about our pullers just about everywhere in Limsa. And there's much and more I haven't mentioned. We shepherd the ships, preside over the ports, manage the mongers, all while making sure not to leave any adventurers out to sea. I'll wager you prefer to work alone, so we'll start you off with rod and reel. Now, you may not necessarily net the numbers net fishing yields, but pole fishing positively pulls prettier prizes. Tongue twisters here. And that's the long and short of it. When you're ready for another bite of bait, I'll reel you in before the guildmaster. I'd hate to hear you'd had a change of heart. You haven't, have you? Except Nimilka would like to have you reaffirm your desire to join the Fisherman's Guild. Yes. Spoken truly like a true bespoke fisherman. Well then, it's time you met the guildmaster. But unfortunately, and somewhat ironically, our nefarious netmaster is out fishing at the moment. This moment, and every moment, that is. So Sissipu tends to tasks that require tending to. You people are going to kill me. Such as deciding whether you'll sink or swim with our guild. Sissipu is presiding over those pools. Whenever you decide to say hello, she might seem somewhat standoffish, but she's only keeping an eye out for sharks. Be yourself, and you have nothing to worry about. Yes, save your breath. I heard every word between you and Nimulika, so I know she told you my role here. As she said, Wawalago's supposed to be guildmaster, but apparently he has bigger fish to fry, so all this work falls to me. That includes making sure our new fish aren't shellfish idiots or potential anemones. You've passed the first test by not laughing at that awful joke. Now you only need the right answer to this question. Are you prepared to fish like you've never fished before? Yes I am. Well, you're smarter than the majority of bottom dwellers that find their way here. Welcome to the guild. Now, this wouldn't be much of a guild if we sent you out to sea with only a pole and a prayer, so I suppose I can spare you a few pearls of wisdom. Nevertheless, you're still going to need that pole and prayer, so I can at least provide you with the former. Here you go. 1 out of 2 isn't bad. I'll even throw in these legworms, since you're not like to get far without bait. The rods we would bestow upon our new fish are priceless objects, which is to say they don't cost anything. Priceless. Once you know what you're doing, you'll probably want a proper one. But in the meantime, let's see if you can figure out how to hold your pole. Ready the one I gave you, and your lessons can begin. To fish, you must first change your class to fisher by equipping a rod in your main hand. If the body of water you are near is fishable, the icon for the cast action will glow. Determine a bait to apply to your line by selecting the bait action and then checkmarking the desired item from the list that appears. Some bait can only be used in certain locations or for landing certain types of fish. Bait and tackle can be harvested, made by disciples of the hand, or purchased from various merchants or fieldcraft vendors. Always make sure your inventory is stocked before heading out into the wild. Alright. One of the single best ways to level fishing is to go on ocean voyages. And you can pick that up by the Arcanist Guild. Gotta love allergies. Welcome to the endeavor, pride and joy of the Fisherman's Guild. If the thought of embarking on a voyage to the high seas piques your interest, you may be pleased to know we are currently recruiting crew members. Any interested parties are welcome to report to the guild at Limsa. Okay. I have the honor of being captain of the endeavor. If you've ever dreamed of fishing on the high seas, you best head to the Fisherman's Guild. Alright. Wonder if I equip this fishing rod. If I can now talk to him. I'll probably need to talk to Fisherman Guild Master. My first fishing rod. Sisabu would like to assign you your first task. You look quite formidable. Let's hope you don't scare all the fish away. Now, the first rule of fishing is to hold onto your rod. Take care of your rod, and your rod will take care of you. Let me know if I'm going too fast for you. Since you're new here, we're going to start small. They don't come much smaller than anchovies. You'll find schools of anchovies swimming around outside in Galadian Bay, so you can catch your meager supper without even walking 10 yalms. Anchovies are hardly the most cunning fish in the sea, making them an ideal first assignment. Simply bait a hook with some of the lugworms I gave you, dip it in the water, and the fish will practically catch themselves. To catch lemons and anchovies for Sisabu, first select a suitable lure using the bait action. Next, approach the water and use the cast action to begin fishing. When you feel a tug on your line, use the hook action to reel in your catch. Your fishing log contains invaluable information on everything from fishing hole locations to detailed fish data to personal records. The log can be found under logs in your main menu. All right, let's go catch some anchovies. I think I can fish here. Yep. After using the cast action to cast your line into the water, you need to simply sit back and wait for a bite. When a fish bites, you will not only see the line being tugged, but hear it. While the fish is on the line, use the hook action to attempt to reel in your catch. Your chances of successfully reeling in a fish after hooking it are directly affected by the fish type and your gathering rating. Well, we don't have much of anything here. Okay. I like to leave that up. Oops. If you move, it cancels your casting, which is kind of annoying. You can also cast, lights up the tip of your fishing rod. I think it helps see it a little better. Ooh. I got a Merlthor Gabi. Come on, anchovy. Yes, I only need one more. There are sites that tell you where certain fish are, what bait you need to catch them, what time of day you need to fish for them, locations. Super helpful. Can't remember the name of them off the top of my head, but if you just Google fishing Final Fantasy XIV, you'll probably come upon the sites, no problem. And one more anchovy, please. Yes. Here, chovy, chovy. Here, chovy, chovy. Fair flock of feisty fish you got, giddy guppy. Careful they don't slip out of sight. Oh, Wolago, to what do we owe the pleasure? Guildmaster's got to get after the guppies, dividing up the daily drudgery, picking out a proper potable, and some such support and service. God, they love these tongue twisters. And alliteration for the win. And who gets after the Guildmaster? We have books to balance, you know, books you should be balancing. I did my best to balance the books, but the bilge keel bent the bow back, bouncing the whole batch off the boat. That's not what... You know it was just an expression. But that's neither here nor there. As long as you keep at the bit, Gav, our books will balance themselves. Don't let that go to your head, of course. Any beginner can snag some anchovies, but you'll need to experiment with different lures and explore new waters if you want to catch the big ones. Fundamentals are fine, but the fun is fishing for new finds. Like my uncle, I said, fishing's like philandering. You never know what you'll catch. And with those well-spoken words of wisdom, we will leave you to your wiles. The next Fisher quest will be available from Sisabu upon reaching level 5. All right. Oh, Flisno. Oh, yeah, ocean fishing. Is news that should be of interest to any self-respecting fisher, no matter how seasoned. Well, if it ain't Gav, you may have just taken up your rod, but anybody can see that you got the keen eye of a fisherman, and I reckon you're looking to make that eye keener still. Bigger fish, more exotic locales, aye, that's what we'll seek, ain't it? And it just so happens I can tell you how to find them. You see, the Fisherman's Guild is just finished constructing a vast boat equipped for voyages on the high sea. As far as I know, Captain Forzagil is still looking for a band of fishermen adventurous enough to brave the deepest fishing hole of them all. If you think you've the stones for it, I'm sure I'll be glad to take you on. All right. Bigger fish to fry. Sisapu has a trial in mind for you. I smell that you haven't been neglecting your duties. A commendable attitude. No one's ever gotten worse at anything by practicing. No one I know, at least. Then again, you can't expect the same old tricks to work with new fish. Big ones don't grow to be that way, chasing everything that wriggles on a hook. To catch the fish you want, you must first know what the fish wants. Only once their prize is at stake can you tantalize and tempt their prey to taste the forbidden tackle. Anchovies will be willing to settle for lugworms, but harbor herring have a discernible palate that prefers pillbugs. But don't take my word for it. Go and see for yourself. Pick up some pillbugs from Sinnehill over in West Hawker's Alley, then use them to catch 3 local harbor herring. Like anchovies, they can be caught right outside. In case you have a mind to return to your previous spot, you should know that fish aren't as foolish as one might think. Keep casting your line in the same waters and you'll find that fewer folk will take the bait. All right. Let's go get ocean fishing unlocked here. That's, like I said, that's the single best way to level fishing. Another daring soul come to join our crew, eh? Well, then let me be the first to welcome you to the endeavor. Now, this ain't your regular fishing boat. We sail at where we please, holding only the course the wind provides to us. Aye, that's the only way we can see the unseen, know the unknown. Captain Forzigal, if I may. The Endeavor is the Guild's only ship of this magnitude, and if we, as you say, sail only where the wind pleases to take us, we may not ever return to this port. The Guild may not look favorably upon such liberal use of the property. My apologies for forgoing an introduction. I'm Drixthoda, sent from the Fisherman's Guild to oversee this venture. Why am I here when the ship already has a captain, you ask? Well, as you may already know, members of our trade, Master Olago and Captain Forzigal included, seem to have difficulties managing time. I suppose the concept became something of an afterthought when one becomes so focused on water's surface. Nevertheless, I am here to ensure the ship adheres to its schedule, both by managing its finances and ensuring new crew members board smoothly. The Endeavor shall embark upon any number of predetermined routes, each of which have this port as their final destination. Rest assured, if you fail to join one voyage, the ship shall return before long. The route we travel will be determined by our departure time, and you may speak with me if you wish to know the route before boarding. Pray bear in mind that we must keep to a strict schedule. We cannot take on more crew members after we have begun boarding, and there are no exceptions to this rule, even for captains. I hear you. When we board the ship is when we get to the exciting part, fishing. Here, take these lures. They're certain to attract something worth displaying on your wall, or at least, very least, worth eating. Should be enough to last for one voyage at least. If you're looking for another kind of bait, if you're looking for other kinds of bait, you can buy it here on the docks or on the ship. Try to switch it up now and then, because if you only use the same bait, you're only going to keep catching the same fish, and that ain't why we do this, is it? And one last thing. While Drixthoda here may be in charge of the particulars on land, once we're on the ship, it's my word you'll heed. So when I say we're fishing here or we're sailing there, I won't hear no objections. As long as we're clear on that, I believe there'll be bounteous fishing for all. And with that, the Endeavor is yours to board. If you wish to enter the ship, or if you would like a more detailed explanation of what it is we do, you only need to ask. Versatile lures let me do pretty much anything. Not as efficient as some other lures, of course, but potential crew members may register to board the Endeavor in 15-minute intervals occurring every 2 hours. However, the Endeavor will depart early if the number of crew members reaches 24. In addition to bait, there exist several types of man-made lures. They are applied to your line in the same manner as bait. Fish can sense the difference between live bait and lures, therefore it may take longer for you to register a bite. On the other hand, lures can be reused multiple times, as well as employed to land prey too large for smaller bait. Being able to choose the right bait or lure for the situation is what separates the amateur from the professional. Welcome to the Endeavor. Will you be boarding the ship? Okay, so in my time zone right now is the even hours. Right. Yeah, let's see where we can go. I don't know if we can turn in anything yet or not. Ooh, she's got a quest for us. A pup no longer. Rashad Riki would have you begin your training in earnest. Ah, Privateer, just the man I was hoping to see. Your exploits of late have been the talk of Limsa. Don't let's puff your sails up too much, but I've heard some of the higher-ups saying that the Maelstrom would be lost at sea without you. But I suspect you're not the type to rest on your laurels. Nay, the tempest raging in your eyes tells me you're looking for new waters to navigate. Fortunately, we have just the place for people like you. Have you perchance heard of the Wolves' Den? It's a proving ground of sorts, established by the Eorzean Alliance, a place where the most promising of Grand Company recruits are sent to hone their skills. The Wolves' Den is to be found just off the shores of Lenosia. The ferry at Moraby Dry Docks in Lower Lenosia will grant you passage there. Upon your arrival, seek out Storm Captain Burkoya Doodleson. I've let him know that you'll be coming, so you can count on a warm welcome. All right. I wonder if we can apply for a promotion yet. Let's see. What do we have to have? You're currently Storm Private 3rd class. To qualify for Storm Private 2nd class, you must fulfill the following requirements. All right. I have to have 2,000 Storm Seals. I have 424. Ooh, boiled egg. Okay. I can't do expert delivery missions until Storm Sergeant 2nd class. Okay. I need crayfish, and as you can see, it can be bought at the shop for 6 gil. And company, okay, I can do 5 supply and provisioning missions. That'll give me 1,000. If I can do 10, I can get another 1,000. Sound a hammering, bringing you in from the street, did it, lad? It's well that you find that the din inviting for the Armorers Guild is not the place for quiet reverie. If the clangor of metal striking metal is music to the ears, mayhap you're the spirit of the shipwright. Are you of a mind to join our guild? Take it from me, lad, there's no greater joy than working a shapeless lump of iron into a shining breastplate with your own hands. What say you then? Yes. Well said, lad. Now we should cover a bit of guild history before forging ahead with the formalities. The armorer's craft is an offshoot of blacksmithing. Time was when armorers and smithies were one and the same. But as the years trickled by, the techniques for working sheet metal into armor plates became a specialized trade, and the smithies showed uncommon skill and passion for this trade, earned themselves the title of armorer. Now, as you can probably imagine, the skills necessary for making armor are also needed for shipbuilding. But building ships is a bit harder than knocking out simple helms, which led those armorers who were good enough to work on boats to claim the title of shipwright. Of course, it was one thing calling armorers blacksmiths and shipwrights armorers, but it was quite another calling shipwrights blacksmiths, because building a ship and making a hatchet couldn't be more different. It seems as though a line needed drawn, and seeing as how Limsa was built on the strength of her navy, you can imagine why the armorers chose to cut their ties with the smithies and establish a guild of their own. As for the smithies, well, the whole notion of an independent armorers guild never did sit well with them, and there's been a fair old rivalry between the two factions ever since. Always trying to outdo each other, we are. Which is why we're ever on the lookout for new talent to help us keep the smithy bastards in their place. All you need to do is impress the Forge Master, and we can start you on your training. Be warned, Forge Master Hananza's tongue could strip the scales off a fish bag at 40 paces. Saying that, you won't find a fairer mistress this side of the Strait of Merylthor. Let me know when you're mustered the courage to speak with her, and I'll see to the rest. Your mind is made up? Are you ready to throw your lot in with us armorers? Sure. And it's time you made yourself known to the Forge Master. That's no empty title, by the way. Hanan's is a renowned shipwright and one of the finest crafters in Limsa. Head outside and you'll find her blistering the skins of our newest initiates. Alright, unless you're blind and deaf, I presume you've wandered into our forge of your own accord, drawn by the siren song of our Smitty's hammers, no doubt. In these here hallowed halls, Limsa's finest pound metal into all manner of tools and weapons. And when I say Limsa's, I mean the whole bloody realms. Make no mistake, you need more than a big arm to join our ranks. But if you got iron in your veins and the builder's blessing, speak up. Yeah. Heh, well, you're not short on confidence. But do you truly know what you're getting yourself into, dear lad? Ours is a trade born of blood and brine. For as long as pirates have sailed the Rotano, Smitties have forged their weapons and fitted their ships from keel to cannon. Of course, till sea swallows all ain't just an idle saying. Brian will eat through even the stoutest iron given time, and our forebears long struggled to forge more rust-resistant alloys. Lucky for us, the Smitties of Eld were a determined bunch, and clever too. So when they learned that the kobolds knew something of advanced metallurgy, the Smitties set out to make it their own. Thanks to the kobolds' wisdom, which they generously gifted us with only the merest hint of pirately prompting, Lemons and Smithin came on leaps and bounds. 'Twasn't long before the Gridanians and Aldans started eyeing our knowledge like we did the kobolds, though. And so, some 150-odd years ago, two particularly forward-thinking men named Theor Naldik and Bryce Vimelli had the bright idea of establishing a respectable business. Being fair-minded fellows, they'd sell their wares to anyone who had the coin, pirate and foreigners concluded. And when folks weren't inclined to pay, they made sure to remind them that we ain't completely forsaken our pirate ways. Times have changed, though, and we're a wee bit more willing to share our wisdom these days. Companies have been running the Blacksmiths and Armorers guilds for years now, welcoming any soul with the necessary talent and will to work. As to whether you got enough of either, well, that's for the Forge Master to decide. Speak to me when you're ready to present yourself to him. So what'll it be? Reckon you got what it takes to train with the best goddamn blacksmiths in the realm? Yep. Ha! That's the spirit. If you'd taken any longer to decide, I'd have told you to bugger off no matter what you said. Can't have half-arsed adventurers wasting Forge Master Brithail's precious time, see? He's got a lot of irons in the fire. That's why me and the other lads make a point of keeping idlers, imbeciles, and otherwise unqualified from getting in his way. Any road, it's time we went, paid your respects to the man. He's the one over yonder making a face like he's carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. Alright. Another aspiring armorer, are you? Welcome. I am Hananza, Forge Master of this guild. I take it Guanaco has explained to you the history and nature of our craft? Good. I have little to add on that front save this. The life of an armorer is not an easy one. Day after day, you will pit flesh and blood against iron and flame, and without a passion for the forge, you will fail. The passion alone will not make an armorer of you. To truly master this craft, you must be possessed of a will as unyielding as the metals you work. Knowing what lies before you, have you the fortitude to persevere? Yes. Ha! I see you have no fear of hard work. That as well. Consider your request to join the guild approved. But if you ever give me aught less than your best, you'll be out the door before you realize my boot is connected with your backside. Are we clear on that? Good. Now that we understand each other, let us begin with the basics. What is your name? Gav? Very well, Gav. This tool is called a doming hammer. Here, grip it firmly, notice weight. Let me know when you feel comfortable with it in your hand. I'll tell you if you're holding it properly. Reassign the gear. Let me reread that. Ah, yes. If I didn't know better, I'd think you were an armorer, Gav. Of course, I do know better. Until you craft something with that hammer of yours, you'll look like a babe with a rattle to me. And I've no intention of mothering you. Make no mistake. I mean to shape you into an artisan, however hard I have to pound. Save your sweat for the forge, lad. I don't expect you to fashion full suits of plate on the first day. Just pay close attention to my instructions, be diligent in your work, and the skill will come in due time. Now, let's be about your first lesson, shall we? I want you to take up your hammer and make me a bronze ingot. A mundane task, I grant you, but one which every armorer should master. Bronze, you see, is the most basic material of the craft, and bronze ingots are its building blocks. 'Tis not the strongest of alloys, of course, but it is that very quality that makes bronze so easy to shape, and the metal of choice for a novice armorer. To forge your ingot, you'll need to procure 2 chunks of copper ore, a chunk of tin ore, and an ice shard. The ore can be purchased from Semrib here at the guild. The ice shard you'll have to find on your own. Well, are you waiting for me to swing your arm for you, or mayhap you would have me swing my boot? Alright, synthesize a bronze ingot for Forge Master Hananza using 2 chunks of copper ore, a chunk of tin ore, and an ice shard. To begin the crafting process, select logs from the main menu, followed by crafting log. Okay. You receive all disciples of the hand, crafters basically, receive a crafting log which contains the recipes of every item you can synthesize. The crafting logs can be opened by selecting logs from the main menu. To begin synthesis, you must first select the crafting class and level tier of the item you wish to create. Once you have highlighted the item, confirm if you possess all the materials necessary in your inventory. If you do, select the Synthesize button to begin the crafting process. Right. About time Rand will send me a new recruit. It's been too long. I'm Brithael, Forge Master of the Blacksmith's Guild. If you're aiming to become a smithy worth the name, 'twould be my great pleasure to educate you on the finer points of the craft. The rest of these sour-faced bastards will tell you it's hard, grueling work fit only for the best and brightest. But I say put a hammer in the hands of the willing and see what happens. What do you say then, lad? Will you swing a hammer for old Brithael? Yes. I knew I liked you the moment I set eyes on you. What did you say your name was again? Gav Tia, a name fit for a hero if I ever heard one. In fact, I reckon I did hear it in a bard's song once. Or was it that poor sod cursing in his cups at the wench? Bah. Don't matter if it was saving the world or bedding someone's mother. Some of these lines are just... whew. Don't matter if it was saving the world or bedding someone's mother, 'tis time to forge yourself a new reputation, pound out a new legend, and ye can trust old Brithael to help you do it. But there you go, putting the cart before the chocobo. Here, lad, take this cross-peen hammer. A smitty without a hammer is like me without a drink. Bloody useless. Oh, good. Let's mix booze with, fire. Because that always goes well. Well, don't just stand there gawping at me. Take her in your hands. Have a few practice swings. Whatever you fancy. She's all yours now. What I wouldn't give to be you right now, lad. A smitty never forgets his first hammer. Oh my god. Alright, what did I just pick up here? Forge Master Brithael wants, which is to see how well you can handle your new hammer. Now that there is a beautiful sight. Never forget, a Smitty's hammer is for one true love. Friends will betray you, lovers will leave you, but your hammer will never do you no wrong. God, seeing you standing there reminds me of a less ale-sodden version of me younger self. But on to your task. We ain't a congregation of soft-handed scholarlies here. Smitty's learned by doing. Try your hand at making a bronze ingot. Any Smitty worth his salt's got to master the fundamentals, and you can't get more fundamental than that. It ain't complicated. Bronze is just copper and tin melted down and mixed together. So you'll be needing, that's it, copper and tin ore. And seeing as most folk don't carry stuff like that around with them without reason, Smithheimer outside can provide you with some, for a price that is. What the lad can't sell you, though, is the fire shard you'll need. It ain't complicated, but that don't mean it's easy. You need to melt the metals after all, and to do that, you need to get them hotter than a flame-kissed horse crotch. These guys are hilarious. Oh my. And that's all there is to it. Think you can handle it, lad? To synthesize a bronze ingot for Forge Master Berthel, select logs from the main menu, followed by crafting log. I'm typing to my free company chat about flame kiss horse private parts. All right, we're gonna hold off on collecting any of that. I want to go to the Culinarian Guild and pick up that first quest too, because my challenge log has crafting 30 items. And might as well kill like 18 birds with one stone. Alright, here's the guildmaster. He's going to give us we unlocked him earlier. Lingzeth wants to assign you your first task. I see you're holding the skillet the right way around. Good. Culinarian lives and dies by his utensils. Get that into your head afore you do aught else, or your food will look like shite and taste worse. Now, let's see what you can do. For starters, I want you to make me maple syrup using your skillet. Recipe's as simple as they come. You only need two things, maple sap and a fire shard. Jossie sells sap over at the guild counter. Now, time's a-wasting, so get to work. It won't pay to keep folk waiting on our trade. Alright, you have to synthesize a pot of maple syrup. Oh, we only need to do one, okay. You know, it would be really, really, really nice if they had these alphabetized. I'm wondering, you know, I just realized it's probably alphabetized in Japanese, and that's why it's not alphabetized in English. Maple sap. I don't know how much maple sap I need. I'll just get 10. Alright. I am fairly close to getting to level 30. And we have to go to the Shroud anyway. Oh. I'm going to do a leveling roulette. Alright, I've done it once today. But I'm going to do it again because I think I'll get a level out of it. Let's go to Middle Lanosia. Because that's where fates also pop a lot. And you get a fair bit of XP from doing some fates. This one I don't have to worry about timestamps on. If you have a SDS Fenrir, use that instead of any other mount if you don't have flying unlocked, because it does faster speed than regular mounts do. I swear each batch of recruits that the Barracudas send me is worse than the last. I've already had to send 3 home because they wouldn't stop crying. If only I had more men like you, one with sharp blades and the wits to match. I know. How about you show these yellow-bellied greenbacks how a true warrior fights? I'll make it worth your while. Yep. Ha ha ha, you hear that, Scrags? Prepare to have your arses handed to you on a silver bleeding platter. Now fall in. Oh, a spear pounded. Okay. Those are selling extremely well right now. Let's go down and do this Troubled Tiller. Well, take me if it ain't a real live venture. Could use some help if it's help you're proffering. You see, I'm tasked with tilling the orchards so that the roots of these here trees might breathe better, like. But it seems that every step I take is straight into a damn molehill. I've already gone and lamed me left leg, and I can't afford to lame me right. So I was thinking I could get myself a true adventurer to whack the bloody moles one good. What do you say? Yes. Me dad was right. You can always trust a venturer. Right the wrongs of this world. But enough of me yapping. Now get to whacking. Okay. Ah, up here. Let's kill these guys here. Try not to get the mandragoras. Looks like we only got one. Alright. There we go. Another one popped here. Good. Yeah. All right. We are going to go to Gridania. Broadening horizons. Tiamui would grant you passage through the White Wolf Gate. Cav, is it not? I've been following your exploits with great interest. You've served Gridania well, but I believe your greatest accomplishments are yet to come. It is with such lofty expectations that I would grant you passage beyond our White Wolf Gate. Take this pass and show it to Franchemontio, the gatekeeper. Gird yourself well for the battles to come, and I am sure that news of your deeds will reach me before long. What I really want to do is get my feisty little chocobo. So we're... Oh my gosh. I don't have that unlocked yet. But I have Quarry Mill unlocked, so let's go do that. Might be a little risky going out this way. Oh yeah, really risky going that way. Let's go the other direction. Oh, that one's only good for... Ooh. Okay. Oh, I need 5 of them. Oh my goodness. Maybe I'll wait for those to respawn. There's one. All right, that was handy. That one's almost done, so we'll skip it for now. All right, we made it. Sometimes it can be tricky. We're going to attune real quick. And talk to Dosette. She appears to have caught the scent of something. The unmistakable smell of chocobo clings to you, adventurer. Would I be correct in assuming that you have your own trusty steed? I think so. Now tell me, is your bird battle trained? If not, you might consider seeking the advice of Luclo over at Bent Branch Meadows. The Ishgardian native is something of a prodigy in all matters concerning our fine-feathered friends. He should be able to help you attain greater affinity with your bird. Alright, come in peace. Speak with Luclo. Alright, let's go to Bent Branch. The reason I want to get this is because he becomes a companion, and he will fight with you. Which is extremely helpful. Good evening to you, Gav. Is there something you need? You wish to have your chocobo trained in combat? This is no small request you make. Riding your bird is one thing, asking it to take hurts in your name is quite another. I will help you train your chocobo, but on the promise that you will never unduly expose it to danger. Do I have your word? Yep. Very well. To begin, you will need a bunch of Geishel grains. You have my leave to pick one from the fields yonder. Return here when you have it. Margot, are these Geishel greens not the most luscious specimens you've ever seen? That they should flourish when the land at large is in a state of such turmoil is a testament to the tireless efforts of all who have nurtured them. Aye, these precious plants have been sheltered and tended, and not only by botanists, by hearers and soldiers as well. Have you acquired the greens? Yes. Superb. Then we shall get straight to it. Doubtless you have already know this, but chocobos are highly fond of geisha greens. They love the leafy vegetables so much, in fact, that they will completely forget their fears in the face of danger. Thus, by feeding your bird the greens, you can prevail upon it to fight beside you. And then, once called, it will be up to you to direct its actions as you see fit. You will find that your chocobo innately responds to a number of general commands. Give your bird an order, and it will act accordingly and to the best of its ability. This simple yet effective methodology was developed by the Fortin family, one of the foremost houses in Ishgard. And that concludes your lesson. Of course, it is not enough to merely hear about practice. One must venture forth and attempt it oneself. Summon your chocobo with a bunch of geisha greens, and together make your way to Sorrel Haven. The broodses that prowl the area ought to be a suitable challenge for you and your companion. Put down 3 of them and return here. And lastly, by way of advice, I would recommend you keep an ample supply of geisha greens on your person at all times. Our resident vendor will be able to provide you with as much as you can carry. Alright, fighting. In addition to riding him, you can also summon your chocobo to fight alongside you. To do so, you will first require a bunch of geisha greens. This chocobo favorite can be purchased in stores. And there's a vendor always in Bent Branch Meadows, too. To summon your chocobo, simply use the greens. Chocobos gain experience points and grow just as you do in combat, and they can only fight in the same places in which they can be ridden. When traveling the world alone, your feathered companion may turn the tide when fighting enemies of a comparable level. Since I'm on DPS, I usually set mine to heals. And I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to show you after the dungeon's over. Make sure I have my food buff up. We got Ifrit. And we want to stay out of that. Ouch. Trying to stay near. It's better, even though you're ranged, it's better to stay closer. Number one, because any mechanics going out from the boss go out oftentimes at an angle, and you have less to run if the closer you are to the boss. Oh, what strong mortal. Ooh, ow. Alright. That was good. That was nice and quick. I usually calm the DPS, unless it's a new person. Oh, somebody gave me a comm. Oh, I got 2 comms. Oh, that's so sweet. That was quick. And I did not get a lot of XP out of it. Oh well. To repair my armor. Purchase items. Facial greens. I'm just gonna get a stack of 99. Alright, you can drag an item, like Geishel greens here. You can drag it to your bar like that. And that way all you have to do is click it, which is super handy if you are in combat and the Geishel greens wear off. You can just click the button on your bar instead of opening your inventory and hoping you don't die in the process. Alright. Oh. I got a piety materia. Oh well. Once summoned to battle, your chocobo will remain with you for 30 minutes Earth time, or until he suffers injuries grievous enough to make him flee. To give your companion orders, use the commands located under Orders in the Actions and Traits interface. To order your chocobo to auto-attack, simply select Free Stance. You can dismiss your companion at any time by selecting the command Withdraw. Use another bunch of Geishel greens to summon your steed again. So you can stack this up to 2 times to make it 1 hour. I also keep my companion button out of my bar, so... Skills. I got none. Alright, well... Actually, I want to set him to... Free Stance. Dispatch... Brood Ziz. Oh, they're up top. That's right. Gotta be careful not to fall off when you're riding a mount. I've done that before. Alright. I think we need 3 of these. As your chocobo rank increases, you'll gain skill points. These can be used to acquire new companion-specific actions and traits. There are 3 different skill trees you can choose for your chocobo: defender, attacker, healer. Basically tank, healer, DPS. When your chocobo acquires his first skill from any of these trees, he will also learn that tree's stance. Activating the defender stance will turn your chocobo into a defensive-minded stalwart. The attacker's stance will transform your chocobo into an offensive force. And finally, the healer stance will have your chocobo focusing on restoring your HP rather than participating in battle. How you choose to use your chocobo's skill points is entirely up to you, but remember, once an action or trait has been purchased, the purchase cannot be undone. Think about how you wish to use your chocobo in battle and choose its path of progression wisely. All right. You can take your chocobo from levels 1 to 20. All right, return to Luclo. We're going to just quick travel back. Uh-oh. Can't do it until I'm level 30. Okay. Well, fortunately for us, my Lancer is level 30. So you've successfully negotiated your first few battles with your Chocobo? Well done. Tell me, how did it feel? Was it not supremely reassuring fighting with your feathered companion? Your Chocobo may make up for your shortcomings or build upon your strengths. Indeed, there are countless ways the two of you might complement one another. Through some experimentation, you will come to find the approach that serves you best. Before I forget, I have one last parting gift. A saddlebag for your Chocobo. Carrying Geisho greens about can be quite cumbersome after all, and there should be sufficient room for your personal belongings should the need arise. I pray it serves you well on your travels. You can now access your Chocobo's saddlebag. The supplementary storage window can be accessed by selecting Chocobo saddlebag located under character in the main menu. Alright. Saddlebag for your Chocobo is now available. This spacious sack can be used as a supplement to your normal storage, which features allowing for the simple transfer of items between the saddlebag and your personal and retainer inventories. Your companion does not need to be summoned to access the bag. However, it cannot be opened while in an instance dungeon, so be sure to remove items required on raids to your normal inventory before commencing the duty. Bird in hand. The Chocobo Keep Luclo may be far from home, but has some matters close to his heart that he would discuss with you. Greetings, sir. Tell me, how goes the training for your avian mount? I could not help but notice that there is some bias towards real-life combat. All battle and no bonding make for a less noble bird. I see you already have a fine residence of your own. Why not build a stable for your Chocobo? Closeness leads to fondness, and there are other perks. I could tell you of those and more if you wish. We of Ishgard have a knack for Chocobo husbandry. We have forgotten more than Gridania will ever know, I fear. One Ishgardian knack is to stable Chocobos at one's residence. That makes it possible to train and feed the birds. The second knack is to keep the stable meticulously clean and picked up. Chocobos are cleanly creatures and easily distressed by slovenly housekeeping. Shall we get straight to it? Pick up every vegetable scrap littering the stable, if you please. I am relegated to picking up vegetable scraps. Anything for my Chocobo. Gotta clean litter boxes too, you know, for your cats. How do I have to pick up 5 of these? Okay. Alright, back to Luclo. Have you collected all the scraps? Very good, I will take those. The place is fresh as cream. How well the Chocobos look fluffing their feathers in contentment. You would do well to lay in a magic broom. You shall need to use those for proper cleaning. But that is for another time. There is more to stable care than simple cleaning. And that brings us to the third Ishgardian knack, fresh feed. I'm not the aptest tutor for this craft, however. There is one who has the knack right here in Bentbradge. That would be Mistress Margot, the resident botanist. She's in charge of all the cultivars maintained here for the Chocobos. Go to her and beg a few greens and information from her. She will not stint you on either. Speaking of, we're going to teach him the heal skill. Now we got heal stance available. Some feed for your Chocobo. Aye, you've come to the right place for it. It has been a warm spring. Try the cracker root. Many birds who would otherwise go off their feed cannot resist the luscious roots. We raise them with love as well as skill. Master Luclo likes to call that a knack. I've no quarrel with it. 'Tis a joy to grow, whether it be vegetables, Chocobos, or the skill in one's hands. Why not try your own hand at growing vegetables? You say you have a house. A house must have a field. Food grown with your love and care. How could your bird not thrive eating feed such as that? Mayhap we are not what we eat, elsewise my father would be a codfish, a swim in butter. But the feed certainly makes chocobos. Aye, so sensitive is their nature that you can see the effect of a particular feed as clear as day. But I have yet to tell you about the main feeds. You are sure to be fascinated. Shall we ever tire of speaking of the geishel greens? Precious, luscious plants, you can summon and train your birds with these greens. But as wonderful as geishel greens are, they are hardly unique in being attuned to specific areas of a chocobo's abilities. The art of raising a chocobo involves choosing a balance of these vegetables to feed to your bird, thus creating a chocobo that is, well, just so. The best laid plans of wranglers are often frustrated by picky eaters, though. Do make sure you come to know each bird's likes and dislikes. They are no pieces of magitech to bend to your will. But when bird and man grow together, why, you might discover something very special indeed. I knew you would do well to grow your own feed. May as well fight with a pine sword to raise a chocobo without a vegetable field of your own. Visit a store to buy the seeds, and remember, love and skill, there's the knack. I do go on, don't I? Yes, you do. You came for a handful of feed and got an earful, but that's the way of it with us botanists. Take this fine specimen of a cracker root to your sweet chocobo, and I wish you both joy of it. I think... No, I don't actually have a cracker root yet. Okay. I keep running past him. Were you able to collect some chocobo feed? Margot is never stingy with her vegetables. As fine a cracker root as ever I've seen. Magnificent specimen. This will make the training all the more effective, I believe. We come to the fourth knack of chocobo husbandry, Gav, training. I hear head wrangler Keitha about her work. There's a thought. Go and speak with her. She will tell you much and more. Training chocobos. Nice to see you, adventurer. Here to learn about training your bird, you say? Stable your chocobo and you'll be able to train the sweetheart. But you need to give him a treat straight after, not a moment later. What I do is go pick up a choice bit of feed before I get the bird into training. The results vary, as the slick ruffian at the ebony stalls used to say. Round here, results depend on how clean the stables are, what treat you give it. But long as you love your chocobo, it's hard to muck it up. Well now, got a fine root, cracker root, on you already. That'll work a treat, no pun intended. Go on, start training little Leah here. I think she's kicking me. You feed little Leah the gigantic cracker root after her training. Okay. That was sweetly done, venturer. You've some skill at this, I reckon. Some are made to train just that one bird. But you can handle any chocobo. Some adventurers share a stable, you know. Might be you could care for birds other than your own. You muck out the stables, that means you're helping raise the other adventurers' birds as well as your own. Don't matter who got the mucking out, really. Those birds been cared for, you see. That ought to hold you for a while. No use pouring too much wine into a cup. You'd best return to Luclo before his Ishgardian brain case starts imagining the worst. Sweetly done. High praise indeed from Keitha. Excellent, excellent. I have now taught you all the knacks you must needs know at this time, I believe. It is my hope that you will add a stable to your residence, and there raise a chocobo to serve as your brave mount and trusted companion. How I long to meet that bird someday. I trust you will not disappoint me. All right. Chocobo raising. To begin raising your trusty companion, You must first stable him. A lot of FCs have stables. Chocobo stables can be purchased and placed outside free company and private estates. One Chocobo stable can house a whole company's bouts. Apartment buildings include a Chocobo stable that is shared by all the tenants. While the Chocobo is stabled, select train to increases EXP. After the training is complete, do not forget to give the Chocobo a reward for his hard work. Depending on the type of reward the bird is given, his progress may change dramatically. Continuously feeding your Chocobo a snack of vibrant vegetables or fruits will cause him to grow feathers of a different color. That's kind of cool. There's like whole websites on Chocobo training and what color of vegetables you have to give them to turn them into a different color. How fares your Chocobo? Should you discover anything noteworthy as you raise your bird, I would be most grateful if you would share your observations. Alright. I'm gonna go back to New Gridania. And the reason for that is I got these new boots and I want to equip them. Put them on my glamour. I have glamour prisms. Yes, I do. Let's put the thigh boots in there. And then I'm going to get some dye, because I want to dye them. Alright. It looks terrible with the white right now, but I'm not going to change my glamour until I dye the boots. See if there's anything I could sell now. Wonder if that'll sell. Oh yeah, okay. It was better than I was expecting. Versatile lure can go down there. See what these sell for. Probably nothing. Really? I'm shocked. You know, you never know. Stuff that you think would sell terribly will sometimes sell a lot. Just never know. I'm going to hang on to these fish because they may be part of a fish turn-in. Oh, I just realized. I wasn't queued as an archer, which is what I really wanted to do. I'm pretty sure the dyemonger here has soot black. Soot black dye. If you need some really, really dark, almost almost completely black. Midnight blue will sometimes do it too. You get one of each. So I can't remember which one's darker. Searching. Before you can purchase an item from the markets, you must first find it. There are two different ways you can do that. You can do a direct search by typing in the name, or the second is specifying search conditions to bring up the list of corresponding items. I have partial match checked here. Because if you don't have the exact name when you don't have that checked, you can't find anything. So set it to partial match. I don't think it's set to partial match by default. If you know the exact name of the item you seek, then you need only type it in the free search box. Type search. Located in the lower left-hand corner of the window. It's down here. Typing an incomplete entry will bring up all the items that begin with those letters. For example, typing Boreskin CR will bring both Boreskin Krakos and Krakos Gathering. If you'd rather list all items that fall under a certain category, start by specifying search conditions from main armor or items located under category search. For example, if you want to view all footwear equipable by level 35 archers, you would first click on the feet icon under armor, set the level indicator to 35, and then finally click the search button. If there are any matches to your search, they will be displayed in the window to the right. The number to the right of the name indicates how many of the items are available for purchase. So let's put black dye. And then you hit search down here at the bottom. Alright. Gunmetal black dye. That's pretty expensive. But it makes a nice shiny boot. General purpose jet black dye is extremely expensive. Soot black dye is pretty cheap. If you can buy them for, just... I'm gonna buy a stack of 50. Alright. Looks like I can only dye it in. Okay. I'm gonna buy the gunmetal. Alright, we're gonna go back to the inn. Yeah, let's go to the inn keep. Tired of the inn room. I'm gonna edit that glamour plate. Let's dye it. That actually looks nice. I think that's gonna look good with that outfit. Oh, that changes the button colors. Well, that's kind of nifty. This one I definitely want to do. Definitely want to do the gunmetal. There's not much difference between soot black and gunmetal, but there is a difference. I put my dyes into my chocobo saddlebag. It's just easier to deal with them that way. You know, while we're here, let's make our bronze ingot. Crafting is similar to battle in that various actions are used to proceed. Successfully crafting an item entails executing synthesis actions to achieve 100% progress before material durability reaches 0. Okay? If durability reaches 0 before progress is reached 100%, the synthesis will fail and some of the materials may be lost. So, when you're starting to learn crafting, craft with the cheaper stuff first, so you get a hang of it. There's Team Crafter website, which has a ton of information on crafting, including what we call crafter rotations. There's a certain order of skills you have to use to have a successful item at higher levels. So definitely look into that. Items that you have successfully crafted at least once will appear with a check mark on their icons. Crafting an item for the first time will earn you a special experience point bonus. Okay. I'm going to make about 5 of them. So you can see I use my basic synthesis. That's going to change progress, but it's also going to change durability. See, it went down there. Let's switch over to Blacksmith. So, even though you've made bronze ingot on your armor, it does not transfer over to Blacksmith. You think it would, but it doesn't. Probably something to do with the coding. I don't know. When all else fails, blame it on coding. Oh dear goodness. I don't have my egg on. There also is crafting food. Pretty sure I'm going to have to, pretty sure I'm going to have to make some more items later on for the crafting. Alright, we got that. Let's go to Culinarian. We gotta wait a while for our queue to pop. Goodness gracious. Oh. I want it to be there. We have to make maple syrup. Okay. There's also quick synthesis that comes up. I don't think I have it available yet. I'll probably be selling these, to the vendor when I'm done. Maple sugar. Let's see what we can make with that. Actually, we'll make one more. As it said, our challenge log is almost complete. Yep. And I got a pop. Just in time. Just in time. So hopefully will put me over the top on 30, and then I can, because I want to do my job stone quests. That's a nice outfit on the Astrologian. Really well done. And that's one of the new hairstyles that Hrothgar has on. Really nice. We're going to keep running. They say glamour is the true end game in this game. They're probably not wrong. Oh, I gained aggro on that one. You actually can't fall off here. See how I got out of the circles, right? I would have done a lot of damage there. See how that angles out from the boss, right? So if you're closer to him, you don't have nearly as far to go. Yep, we gotta go down and get the blasting caps here. On each side, too. There's some on each side. Alright, you gotta pick up the fire sand. Okay, they've got it. So I watch for where these puddles, little puddles come down, and kind of see where they're all grouped up, and I move in the opposite direction. So I see there's kind of an open space over here, so I'm going to come over here. Same thing again. Move to the open area. I definitely want a dot. I believe our pugilist has to watch the cutscene. Oh, in. Oh, yeah. I'm watching my debuff bar to make sure my venomous bite stays up. All right, Level 30. Level 30. Right, I think we're going to call it here for the night. We got quite a bit done. So MamaCatGamer is signing out again. You have a great night, cats and kittens. Oh. Before we leave, what's a cat's favorite dessert? A mice cream cone. Y'all have a good night.